Hey everyone. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started here in about 5 minutes. Give some people a few minutes to get in here. Also, that QR there on the left hand side is for Slido. If you have any questions, feel free to post them there or in the YouTube chat. Hey. Thanks for joining everyone. We're going to get started here in a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, there's the QR on the left hand side. You can scan it and go to Slido where you can post questions. Yeah, there's a lot of things to cover for the past month here and looking forward to the next month. Yeah, so looking forward to it. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Yeah, GM everyone, thanks for attending. A lot of interesting stuff to cover in this community call, this WIT call. We're going to start off with outreach and conferences. Token 2049 is this next week, and a few of us are going to attend. Partially what we're doing is reinforcing our adoption, reaching out to our current chain partners, people we're already in contact with. We're also going to that staking summit and the Unchained summit, which are also happening in Dubai during that time. Part of that is to access the broader staking community, like traditional stakers, right? Like for Ethereum and different things like that, to get more exposure. Since we launched WIT2, we have staking, of course, and that's going to be a great opportunity. Also, just to search not only for new chain partners and reconnect with past chain partners, but to talk to different crypto projects, right? And see what they're doing, see if they need an oracle, and how Witnet can fit into that equation. Also, there are a lot of exchanges sponsoring Token 2049. The 3 that we're live on, I think, will be there. So it's a great opportunity to reconnect with them and maybe talk to a few other ones. And we have that new link, like the news.witnet.io for the Dubai conference. We posted that, and we've already gotten some responses. That's a link to where if other projects or companies are going to be at the event, they can schedule a meeting with us, right? So we can meet with them and talk about their project, talk about Witnet, and talk about how we can collaborate. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, that's coming up next week. Really excited for that. Now on community, we have a new advocate program in the works. It's coming up very soon. We're using Zeely, if anyone's familiar with that. It's like a platform that people can complete quests and earn rewards and notoriety and different things like that. That's something we're working on now and getting it right before we launch. One of the issues with the last advocate program that we ran was people using AI and generating low quality content. A lot of that content that was posted on Twitter was just incorrect information about Witnet and different things like that. So hopefully using Zeely as a platform, we can minimize some of that. Also, one of the tasks in Zeely will be verifying Witnet address using a signature, like signing a message through my Wit wallet. So we will be able to reduce any potential like Sybil attacks or anything like that on the program. Yeah, so really excited about that. That's coming up. We're going to be doing some internal testing with it to make sure everything works properly, and then yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're going to be launching that soon after we get everything squared away and get some ideas on what exactly that program looks like, what types of quests we want to have, and how we can better engage with the community. In the past couple of weeks, we launched the new version of my Wit wallet, the 2.0 release that has stake and unstake transactions. Yeah, it's been working great. People can stake and unstake from the wallet. We fixed a couple of bugs. One of the works in progress is fixing the Windows desktop release. Yeah, it's a really funny thing why that doesn't work. It's the same code base. It's literally the same code that we deployed to all these different platforms, but for some reason on Windows, it's having some trouble. Yeah, so we're investigating that and should fix it in the next release that's coming up here very soon. Oh, on the websites, we've updated some things on the stakes tracker. That's staking.witnet.io. We deleted the progress bar since we reached the 300 million minimum goal for staking. And now we're aggregating data by withdrawer address, like who actually has ownership over those funds to withdraw instead of by validator, which makes a little bit more sense because you can have multiple validators to the same withdrawer, and it just provides a more clear picture of the current stakers and their APY and all of that. We also added the number of stakers, so if you go to that site, you can see there's like 44 different withdrawers right now, spread across multiple validators. Yeah, so that's interesting. It's good information. I think that's useful. Also, you kind of saw a sneak peek at the events page, events.witnet.io, to where we're going to be listing different conferences we're going to, community calls, different things like that, in-person events. We're going to have that updated and kind of be like a history, right? Not only future events that we're planning to attend, like Token 2049 in Dubai, but also we're going to backfill it with all of the past events we've been to and different things like that. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We finalized the design that's in line with the branding for WIT 2.0. And yeah, it looks great. I think we're just finishing up some things with that, and we should have that site up pretty soon. So that's exciting. On WIT 2, over the past few weeks, we've published a couple of WIPs, Witnet Improvement Protocol, or proposal that goes over the proof of stake consensus, because over the past year or so, as we've been working towards this goal, the requirements have changed, some things have changed, so to have it all laid out in a document is very useful and a good reference that anyone wants to look at. They can go there and see that WIP and understand exactly how the protocol works. We also released a second WIP 29, for sustainable coin issuance. So obviously with the upgrade to 2.0, we got rid of the halvening schedule that we had previously. We also reduced the block time and the block rewards. So it just makes more sense to have that coin issuance schedule like clearly defined. For the early WIT 2 era, right? So it could change in the future. So just keep an eye on that. Look at that if you are curious about coin issuance and emissions and tokenomics. Like those are two great WIPs to look at. And they're on GitHub. Feel free to comment on them if you want. They're there. Also with 2.1 plans. We've been discussing and outlining the core principles of delegation. So we, as a core component of WIT 2.1, want to have delegated proof of stake, right? So stakers are not obligated to also run node infrastructure. That they could delegate that to someone, maybe a trusted individual that they trust, or maybe even a third party. There are quite a few like stake as a service platforms out there that offer staking services for multiple platforms, and maybe we could be in one of those. Like WIT could be like a stake as a service in one of those platforms. Those are things that we're looking at, and also like the incentives for delegation and staking. Like, why would I want someone else to delegate to my node? What's the incentive, right? And also, we're looking at slashing and having more strict slashing, not only on data requests, but maybe some other things. Technically, implementing it is not that difficult for the delegation and slashing. It's just on what rules for the protocol we want to implement in lines with delegation, and and slashing, right? So it's not a technical challenge, but we need to get the design right, and it needs to make sense from the start, right? Yeah, now some network stats. In March, we discontinued a couple of feeds. We're still on all the same networks. A couple of the testnet price feeds we deprecated. So that's why you see a lower number there. They were just price feeds that were not being utilized and that have been up for over a year and stuff like that. So it was time to retire some of those testnet price feeds that were no longer being used. Yeah, and you see mainnet is still pretty steady there. So in total, yeah, about 29,000 Oracle queries over the past month. Right, that's about 1,000 a day. And of course, I have that disclaimer down at the bottom. Something to note is it does not include the RNG requests, like from Pool Together or other protocols that utilize randomness and their dApps. We're working on a way to better track that and to include that statistic in these stats here. Yeah, so next month we'll probably have something like that. All right, yeah, time for questions and feedback. I see. Let me open Slido and see if there's any questions. On Slido, we have one question from Anon. Can you elaborate on Zeely? What type of reward system would it be? Yeah, that's an interesting question, and we're still playing around with what exactly that looks like. Since Zeely has like a wallet component that you sign in, it's EVM compatible. That maybe the rewards would be just straight like USDT or something like that, or we could also reward Witcoins as well. The rewards in Wit or USDT, obviously USDT would be directly through the platform or something like that. Wit would be a little bit more nuanced since it's not directly integratable with the Zeely platform, right? Like we cannot hook up the Witnet blockchain to Zeely and like reward through that. Yeah, so there's things that we're looking at. But yeah, the rewards would be economic in nature, maybe some other like community-based rewards, like special roles in Discord or Telegram or something like that. Also, we want to revive like the super advocate role. So if you complete enough tasks, you become a super advocate. You can start doing some other things within the community. We're still exploring that, but obviously the rewards would be USDT or maybe just straight Bitcoin, but that would be kind of a side thing. And partially, we're also thinking about like the level of tasks, right? So if there is a task that is generated by AI or something like that, or a response to a task that's generated by AI and it's low quality, like obviously that's not going to get rewarded. Partially, we also want to have the wallet verification thing. So if we're going to reward people in Bitcoin, we want to have that user verify their address by signing a message with their private key, so we can verify who we're sending the money to, and make sure it's just not like one person that spawned 10 different lit accounts and they're submitting low quality submissions and stuff like that. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, nice. Yeah, let me check for some other questions. See if anyone posted in. No questions in Telegram, nothing in Discord. And it looks like just that one question on Zeely and Slido. I'm pretty sure everyone can open that app and see the questions there. Yeah, so maybe just a brief recap of what's going on. Looks like we just got a new question on Slido. Will Witnet be listed on more exchanges? Obviously, that's a goal or something that we want to work on and devote some time to. Partially, that is part of our adoption strategy that's been updated over the past couple of months. If we look at, if I go back up here to this outreach slide, this is like one of the main reasons we're going to conferences is to do outreach to exchanges and to new partners, to existing chains that we're on. If you know anyone that's attending the conference that you think should be in contact with us, like feel free to share news.witnet.io/WitnetDubai 2025, and we will meet up with them. Like we'll sit down at the event and we'll talk about how we can work together. But yeah, it's always difficult listing WIT on new exchanges, right? Because WIT is not EVM compatible. It's more akin to something like Bitcoin. So when an exchange does an integration with Witnet, there's some work that needs to be done on their end. They need to set up the infrastructure to run a node. They need to be able to access and send transactions and different things like that. One of the things that will alleviate some of that pressure is the Witnet toolkit that is going to be launched soon. Right now, we're working on adding documentation and documenting all of those features and going through unit tests with that and making sure that everything works. Even that Witnet toolkit was initially one of the requests from an exchange partner. I think it was Bitmart that was asking for just like an easy like Java library where they could do like cold storage, sign transactions and different things in an easy way without running a node. Or if part of their like settlement team does not have access to the nodes, then they need like a library that they can access these things through. So yeah, ideally we will be listed on more exchanges. That's kind of why we're going to conferences, to get more exposure and to have those conversations in person with those exchanges. The next question, when is the new community program? Yeah, that's a great question. We don't have a hard date set for that right now. All I could say is soon. Everything's coming together for it. We're testing out the Zeely platform, which I'm pretty sure is the one that we're going to use. And we just need to carefully construct what type of quests, like what type of interactions we want the community to have, and what makes the most sense. If you have any suggestions on a great like task or quest that someone can do on Zeely, feel free to share it on the Telegram channel or on Discord or something. But yeah, we don't have a hard date set for it. It's just something great to update the community on, that yes, we're thinking about this. We need a new community program. We need a new advocate program. We need better incentivization and engagement from the community. So yeah, there's no hard date set yet. All right. Yeah, any more questions or concerns, feedback, anything? Feel free to post it in the Slido. Okay. Yeah, maybe there's no more questions. Yeah, just to reiterate, next week we're going to be in Dubai attending these 3 different conferences, doing outreach and focusing on adoption, looking for new projects, looking for new chains to launch on, talk to exchanges, our current partners, all of that stuff. If you have anyone that you think we should talk to, or you're part of a different community and you think, hey, Witnet could help them in some way, like definitely send them this, and we'll schedule like an in-person meeting with them at the conference. I think that's kind of the biggest thing. Aside from that, we have this new advocate program coming, which is really exciting. Really looking forward to that and using Zeely to gamify and better track these things. Launching soon, economic rewards in USDT and WIT, and we released that new version of my WIT wallet. There's some bugs that we need to fix specific to Windows Desktop, and some other minor things that we're fixing, so that should be coming out soon. We also updated a couple of websites, the stakes tracker, since we were in the race to stake, and now we're fully activated. We're showing some better stats. Also, that event page should be launching very soon. That will include upcoming events like conferences and different things that we are going to be at where people of the community can contact us in person. We could have like an in-person sit down or something like that. Also, a good backfill of past events, so new people to the community can go back and see what has Witnet been doing the past few years, right? So that'll be great to see. The design's finalized with the new WIT2 branding, and that should be published soon. We had those couple of new whips published. Feel free to go to GitHub and look at those and review those. Also, we're getting close to finalizing the plans for WIT 2.1 in relation to delegation and stake and slashing. Yeah, and if you have any comments on that, or you have any ideas, like feel free to join that conversation. Network stats, we discontinued a couple of testnet feeds, but still just about 30,000 requests per day. It's about 1,000 per day. Nice, okay. Let me just check real quick if there's any questions in Telegram or Discord. I'm not seeing anything. Kind of the last call for any questions in Slido. Awesome. Yeah, well, I guess that's everything. Yeah, thanks for attending. Thanks for your time. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, like feel free to reach out to us in Discord or Telegram. We're happy to chat with you and everything. And hopefully, maybe we'll see some of you in Dubai. All right. Thanks, everyone. Gonna end the stream.